stars on the U.S. team, and Tim, he struggled enormously throughout the compulsory routines.
McCain had a great year in 1994. He moved from 15th in the all-around to 3rd in the all-around in 94.
Many feel he is one of the most talented athletes this country has ever had.
And a great event for Steve McCain. This is the event where he ended his compulsory competition. It was absolutely stunning. He took chances like no other athlete, one of the best routines in the world.
I'll tell you something, too. A mistake by Zhu and Josh Stein. McCain could be going to the Olympics because he's in 9th right now. He was 11th at the
And that's it. That's it. I would have to say that this guy is not going to Atlanta.
I could count the memories on my hands before I was a gymnast. I mean, the early years were kind of turbulent. I had to go with the deadbeat dad that was a tumultuous existence in our family life. Then I started climbing the walls, swinging from the chandelier, teaching myself gymnastics without even knowing what gymnastics was.
He was always a little daredevil, jumping off stuff in the house that he should not be doing. I always wanted to hold him all the time. We were very, very close all the way growing up. I was there a lot for him. Take him to the gym every single day, every time he wanted to work out. And Steven was the one that wanted to work out 7 days a week. I want to go to the gym. I want to go to the gym. I want to go to the gym. I want to work out. So it was all the time.
But she was almost like a second mother. I would be so exhausted from training that she had to wake me up every day. And so she would come in with songs. My God, I look back and I can't believe how much she gave up for my career.
We'd mark 10 things that we felt were important for someone to have all the qualities they needed to become a great gymnast and athlete. I went through that checklist with Steve, and he checked all of them. Has incredible spatial awareness, hard work ethic, strength, flexibility. Steve had everything. He had this desire that was uncanny, and I will still tell this to this day. Of all the years I coached the guy, I do not remember him ever missing a practice. And so then I just knew I had something special. I was actually supportive of him in his Olympic dreams, but we did it in stages. It was you have to have your short-term goals, and we did not say, okay, you're going to go to Olympic Games, this is your path. It was a path of making the junior national team, performing well, trying to get to the top of his game in the junior national program, exceeding, moving on to the elite program, getting on the national team, and from there you're going to meet your Olympic dreams. Now, when I say this stuff, I'm making it sound like, man, we just worked the dog out of him. No, we would do fun stuff too. We would go to the beach, do other things. And, he really didn't have a father figure in his life at that time. He was kind of like the son I never had too. I mean, it was a very special time I know in my life.
My mom was sick a lot. The doctors had told her that she had MS, and so she worked her butt off. And I saw her in a lot of pain a lot of times. And, as a kid, there's not a whole lot you can do about that. You're just sitting there going, I wish I could do something, but I can't. And then yet I would see her go and do all this work and support us and somehow provide for all my competitions and tuition to go to gymnastics practice. And I was well aware of the fact that there not being a man of the house around, that I was kind of the little man of the house.
When he went to competition, a lot of times I drove him because my mom had to work. Especially when we started traveling internationally, that starts to get expensive. Financially, being a single mom, it's not a burden, but yeah, it can be financially hard. She shared it with me, but she never shared it with my brother. She kept it from my brother. He didn't have anybody else. We had each other. We had each other's back. That's what families do.
The following is a presentation of ABC Sports. This year, from Sarajevo, Yugoslavia to Los Angeles, California, the ABC Olympic tradition continues.
It was my first introduction to like the ultimate in gymnastics. So I had just gotten introduced to gymnastics, and now I'm seeing if you commit yourself to this, what it could be. And then I was inspired by the team. I mean, Bart Connor was amazing. After every event, he had that classic smile, you know, his arms were up and he's smiling. America fell in love with him. My mom thought he was the greatest thing walking. Mitch Gaylord, Tim Daggett, all the guys on the team. That team inspired a lot of us in my generation. But then I started meeting them. At different training camps and different things. They really took to me and were like, yeah, you're doing great, and spoke highly of me, and they were my role models.
And then, you know, you start seeing him win these competitions, and he keeps putting more of his heart and soul into it. And it's like, he might be able to go further with this. He might actually be able to live his dream.
But now Steve McCain, who is in 8th after 5 rotations, he too might go past John McCready.
Boy, I sure hope this kid gets his act together. He is one brilliantly talented young gymnast. But in my opinion, his career has been a huge disappointment. He should have delivered much more for the U.S. program, but he's been very inconsistent. He's very quick to give an excuse for why he makes a mistake. And yet, as you'll see on this high bar routine, he has a routine like Trent Demas did in 1992. He has the potential to deliver a medal for the team in the Olympics if he could just get through and be consistent. Watch this combination. Look at that. Well,
there you go.
30 seconds.
He knows that may knock him off the team.
The closer I got to the Olympics, the pressure was mounting because making that Olympic team was something that I had to do in order to justify who I was as a person and validate everything that I had worked for. That did not compute for me because it started overshadowing my affection, my joy, my simply loving to do the sport, which is, this shit was getting real. I'm at UCLA where all the Olympians are coming out of, and I'm like, I'm on my way. And the coaches, he almost broke me. He almost broke my spirit for gymnastics because we trained so hard before 96 trials. Me and my coach had such a falling out that the other UCLA coach was coaching me. I remember when I left for Olympic trials, I did not leave feeling great about it at all. Doubt definitely creeped out. Yep.
Really one of the up-and-coming stars on the U.S. team, and Tim, he struggled enormously throughout the compulsory routines.
McCain had a great year in 1994. He moved from 15th in the all-around to 3rd in the all-around in 94.
I just wasn't mentally ready. I mean, I understand why. I had done physically all the work, but I didn't understand the real game of sport. And that's this. That's what separates the men from the boys. This.
This is the event where he ended his compulsory competition. It was absolutely stunning. He took chances like no other athlete, one of the best routines in the world.
Well, I'll tell you something, too. A mistake by Zhu and Josh Stein, and McCain could be going to the Olympics because he's in 9th right now. He was 11th at the... Man.
And that's it. That's it. I would have to say that this guy is not going to Atlanta.
I was next to my mom. It was heartbreaking. I feel like at that moment, but his dreams had been crushed. He worked so hard. It was everything he dreamed of. This is a guy that didn't go to prom, didn't go to homecoming at high school, didn't go to football games, graduated early. He missed all his high school stuff. He didn't even walk during graduation in high school. And at that moment, I was heartbroken for him. I really was.
Very passionate, emotional young man. He so desperately wants to go to the...
In the beginning, it was just immense frustration. And then there's the grieving, you know, because you have to accept it. I remember walking in the hallway, and my Russian coach, Yefim, when I had tears in my eyes, and he just walked by me. He went, "It's on you to figure it out. You know, nobody has the answers for you. You have to figure it out." I had done silent retreats for 5 days with heavy meditation, hypnotherapy, yoga, chanting, and that was after a long trip to South Africa, and meditation and, you know, soul-searching escape. I wanted nothing to do with the sport. I was done. I just thought, I'm done. I mean, I got all these letters from fans that had saw me break down. They wrote how inspired they were and all this stuff. I remember reading these things and just weeping, and wow, I actually did accomplish a lot, and I have been successful at this, and this has been a positive thing in my life. Making an Olympic team is fucking hard, and there's no way I should be a broken individual because I didn't make it. It's hard. I went through a rough patch after 96. I got really out of shape and I wanted to quit, and I went to some chump meet where it was just like, I'm just gonna use it to get into shape, and you know, I let a couple of Joes beat me, and I looked really rough. It got back to me that Tim had told some coach that he was standing next to, this guy that was so valuable in my life. He said, "What a waste." Really? I'll show you.
Just a young gun with a quick fuse. I was uptight, wanna let loose. I was dreaming of bigger things and wanna leave my old
But he jam-packs the difficulty in this sequence right here. And incredible landings like that. He makes it look like it's just a walk in the park.
Steve McCain came into this competition a legitimate contender to win the national title. It is
come full circle for Steve McCain. Such a huge talent, fall short, but he is back and better than ever. Steve really doing what he's done all day long. Beautiful gymnastics. This is an event he can bring in a big score, has a lot of difficulty, and he does it very, very well.
a couple years ago. He would be almost done, but nowhere near now.
Well, basically, at the conclusion of this competition, along with the scores from the national championships, on paper, those top 4 athletes are secured a spot to the Olympic Games. But 5th and 6th place is basically up to the committee to decide if there are any weaknesses in the top 4.
The most nervous I was at the 2000 Olympic trials in Boston, Massachusetts, because we were at the same place that we were in 96.
I'm going through the same ritual as I went through to fail in 96. Same arena, same everything, same, literally, I think I literally thought they put me in the same room. All this stuff that I had created to safeguard myself and make it this time, this thing just pierced it. I was having serious flashbacks, and I get to the arena and I cannot do fundamental basic gymnastics. I couldn't do like backyard stuff that I did when I was a kid. My nervous system had been hijacked. My other coach took me aside and he said, "Steve, if you don't do what you're capable of here, I'm going to kick you in the balls." And it just snapped me right out of it.
Everything goes as planned. That is no problem at all.
You know, Steven doesn't want to relive the memories of 4 years ago. He told me coming into this competition, I've had Sydney on my calendar for a very long time.
There's Stephen McCain. How about this number? 9.9 on the high bar.
You're existing in the quantum space. I was doing gymnastics. I could feel the entire arena. It's mesmerizing. It's the hook.
So here are the standings. Remember, the top 4 go to the Olympics, guaranteed. After that, the committee will pick 2. Now, Stephen McCain getting set on the floor.
60 seconds away from a dream of a lifetime.
I have this pass in it, the second pass, where you don't land on your feet, you actually roll out of it. and I was a little short on it. I hit my head really hard, and I was dizzy.
He got up, but I'm gonna tell you, he was in pain. But he didn't. I knew he was in pain because I know our brother, but he didn't try to show it.
And I'm doing these flare sequences, like trying to like regain my composure. And then I have one little side pass, and then I have my big dismount. So by the time I got to my last pass right before I went, I felt like I regained my composure, because I rung my bell.
And in my mind at that time when that happened, I was like, the competition's not over with yet. Anything can still happen.
I was just praying he's gonna hit.
One small piece of gymnastics for a lifelong quest right here. Right here.
Steve McCain, get your visa. Mom Patricia, she can't believe it.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
You could beat the world, you could beat the war. You can talk to God, go banging on his door.
You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You could be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you go find yourself
Standing in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And the world's gonna know your name. Cause you burn with the brightest flame. And the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong hanging on your chest.
You can be the world, you can beat the war. You can talk to God, go banging on his door.
You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You could be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you